making a revelation to Vyasa that the Almighty God manifests himself whenever the civilization is endangered by the dominance of sinners. Lord Brahma said. In Dwapar Yuga, Lord Vishnu incarnated as Sri Krishna to protect Dharma from being subjugated by a Dharma, which had become all-pervasive at that time. He was born to Vasudeva and Devaki. Both his parents had been kept into captivity by Kansa, who was aware of the prophecy that he would be killed by Devaki's eighth son. In due course of time, Devaki gave birth to 7 sons, all of whom were mercilessly killed by Kansa one by one. In order to protect the life of Sri Krishna, the 8th child born to Devaki, Vasudeva exchanged him with a baby girl born to Yashoda and Nand. Vasudeva had no problem in moving out of the prison as Krishna by his divine power induced all the guards to sleep. Sri Krishna, being an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, performed great feats right from his childhood. Once, Kansa sent an ogress named Putana, who tried to kill Sri Krishna by breastfeeding him. But Krishna sucked her breasts with such ferocity that Putana met an instant death. In due course of time, Sri Krishna killed many more ferocious demons like Shakataja, Kaliyunag, Dhenukaja, and mesmerized the residents of Gokul by his divine bravery. He also performed many other divine feats like lifting Govardhan mountain and performing Raslila with the gopis. Seeing all his plans of killing Sri Krishna go in vain, Kansa sent him a message challenging for a duel, fought with his court wrestlers named Mushtik and Chana. Sri Krishna killed both the dreaded demons without much difficulty. Ultimately, Sri Krishna climbed up the throne sitting on which Kansa had been watching the wrestling bout and pulled him down by his hair. He then punched Kansa on his chest so hard that he died an instantaneous death. Having accomplished his most important mission of killing the demon king, Kansa, and liberating the earth from his tyranny, Sri Krishna went on to complete his education under the tutelage of sage Sandipani. During ancient times it was customary for a disciple to offer dakshina to his teacher, as a mark of respect after his education was complete. Sri Krishna, following this tradition, gave an invaluable dakshina to his guru by bringing all his dead sons alive to earth from Yamloka. Sri Krishna was subsequently crowned as the king of Mathura, but on account of the relentless attack by Jarasandha he had to abandon his dear city and shift his base to Dwarka. He had 8 queens, among whom Rukmani and Satyabhama were prominent. Later on he rescued 16,100 women from the captivity of Narakaja and married all of them. From Rukmani he had a son named Pradama, who killed Shambharaja. Aniruddha was Pradama's son and he married Ushur, daughter of Banajur. Banajur was a great devotee of Lord Shiva and was blessed with 1,000 hands. Lord Shiva came to his rescue at the time when he was battling against the might of Sri Krishna. A fierce battle was fought between both the deities, which remained inconclusive even after a long time. Lord Shiva then requested Sri Krishna to spare Banajur's life, to which he agreed, albeit partially. Sri Krishna severed all the hands of Banajur barring 2. Finally, after accomplishing his mission of liberating the earth from the darkness of sin, Sri Krishna left for heavenly abode. The tale of Mahabharata. Giving the reasons that lead to the great battle of Mahabharata, Lord Brahma told sage Vyasa that Sri Krishna had planned this great battle and executed it to perfection to relieve the earth from the burden of tyrants. While giving the names of lineal descendants of Kauravas and Pandavas, he said, "I, Lord Brahma, manifested from the lotus which itself had its origin in the navel of Vishnu. Atri manifested from me while Chandra from Atri. Buddha was born to Chandra while he himself was the father of Paurava. Ayu was Purava's son while he himself was the son of Yayati. The names of few famous descendants of Yayati were Bharata, Kuru, and Shantanu. Shantanu had two wives, Ganga and Satyavati. The former was the mother of Bhishma, the indomitable warrior, who had vowed to remain a bachelor throughout his life. The latter, that is, Satyavati, gave birth to two sons, Chitrangad and Vichitravirya. A Gandharva killed Chitrangad while Vichitravirya died issueless despite having two wives, Ambika and Ambulika, both daughters of the king of Kashi. In order to expand their clan, both Ambika and Ambulika begot one son each from sage Vyasa. Ambika gave birth to Dhritarashtra while Ambulika to Pandu. The same Vyasa also had a son from a maidservant who became famous as Vida and who was famous for his statesmanship and tactfulness. Dhritarashtra married Gandhari and begot 100 sons from her, among whom Duryodhana was most notorious. These 100 sons of Dhritarashtra became famous as Kauravas. Pandu had two wives, Kaunti and Madri, from whom he begot 5 sons, Yudhisthira, Bhima, Arjun, Nakul, and Sadhva, who all grew up to be very powerful and mighty. All 5 of them became famous as Pandavas. Pandu, their father, had died while they were still young, and Madri, unable to bear the sorrow, had given up her life by jumping into the burning pyre of her dead husband. So, the Pandavas were brought up under the guardianship of Kaunti. Kauravas and Pandavas were bitter rivals right from their childhood. Duryodhana never missed a chance to torment the Pandavas, his cousins. Both Kauravas and Pandavas were brought up under the tutelage of Kripacharya and Dronacharya, both prominent scholars of their times. Once, Duryodhana tried to kill Bhima by poisoning him, but fortunately Bhima not only came out unscathed but also with renewed strength and vigor. Duryodhana tried his luck for the second time to eliminate his enemies by setting ablaze the house of wax, in which Pandavas were living. But once again they came out unharmed. Pandavas then went to Ikchakranagar and took refuge in the house of a Brahmin family. A demon named Baka used to torment the people of Ikchakranagar. Bhima killed that demon and the people were relieved at the news of their tormentor's death. Thereafter Pandavas went to attend the Swayamvar ceremony of Draupadi. Arjun won Draupadi as his wife by piercing the eye of the fish hanged above his head by looking at its image in the water pot kept below. At the insistence of Dronacharya and Bhishma, Yudhisthira reluctantly agreed to share half of his kingdom with the Pandavas. Thus Pandavas started living at Indraprastha, the capital of their newly acquired kingdom. Arjuna married Subhadra, his second wife and the sister of Sri Krishna. He pleased Agni-Dev by his austere penance and received divine weapons like a divine chariot, Gandiv, bow, imperishable arrows and an impenetrable shield. After being armed with these divine weapons, he successfully defeated many powerful monarchies, and gave the whole acquired wealth to Yudhisthira, his elder brother. Dhritarashtra invited Yudhisthira for a game of Dayuta, gamble, but Duryodhana defeated him by employing unfair and deceitful tactics with the active connivance of Shakuni, his cunning maternal uncle. Yudhisthira lost everything in the gamble, his whole wealth, his kingdom and even Draupadi. Pandavas had to go into exile for 12 years with an additional year of age. They were not supposed to be recognized during this period, as per the terms and conditions laid down for the game. After completing their total period of exile, Pandavas reached Viratnagar to spend their year of age, which posed more dangers and challenges because if they were recognized during this period it would have meant another 12 years of exile for them. Having successfully completed their period of exile, Pandavas demanded back their kingdom, but Duryodhana was not even willing to part away with 5 villages. Thus Pandavas were left with no option but to fight for their legitimate rights. Both the rival armies boasted of mighty and brave warriors on their sides. Duryodhana appointed Bhishma as the chief commander of his army, whereas Shikhandi was leading Pandavas' army. The first 10 days of the battle saw a fierce fight between both the rival armies, during which period many warriors from each side achieved martyrdom. Finally, while Bhishma lay down injured, his whole body pierced with Arjuna's arrows, but still alive because he had received a boon of Ichamritu, death by his choice, prominent warriors from both sides stood around him. It was only after the sun came north of equinox, Uttaran, the auspicious time Bhishma had chosen to leave his mortal body, that he died after preaching the Pandavas on a wide range of subjects. After Bhishma's death, Dronacharya led the Kauravas' army. This was the most crucial phase of the battle. Dronacharya had become so demoralized after his son's death, that he had just no motivation left in him to fight the battle. Finding an opportune moment, Drishtadumna severed his head, and Kauravas thus lost their most able and experienced commander. Duryodhana appointed Karna as the next commander of Kauravas' army. The most decisive phase of the battle began, and after a fierce battle of 2 days Arjuna managed to kill his brave rival. Subsequently, Yudhisthira killed Shaulya. After losing all his mighty warriors, Duryodhana, in a fit of rage, challenged Bhima for a duel of mace. Bhima killed him after a fierce fight. The revengeful Ashwatthama, son of Dronacharya, attacked the Pandavas' camp at night, much against the norms of battle, and killed all the 5 sons of Draupadi and thousands of other Pandava soldiers. Arjuna avenged the death of his sons by defeating Ashwatthama and extracting the diamond set in his forehead. After the battle ended, Yudhisthira performed the rituals of Shraddha in the name of all the dead warriors and ascended the throne. He ruled in a just manner according to the instructions given by Bhishma. After Sri Krishna left this mortal world, Yudhisthira appointed Parikshit as his successor and left for Himalaya, accompanied by his brothers as well as Draupadi.